Every once in a while, I come across a game that leaves a profound impression on me. Sometimes the story is the driving force behind why I love it so much. The controls might feel immersive, or the mechanics are well done. Or sometimes the game has near infinite ways to play it, and it's just awesome. There are some games that have done this awesome feeling that make it so addicting to play, and in the case of today's video, this VR game has slowly become my favorite VR game. So, what is said game? Ancient Dungeon VR. So, what even is Ancient Dungeon VR? Well, Ancient Dungeon VR is a game that was released on November 3rd, 2021 for Steam. I remember seeing an early access version on SideQuest, but it was $20 so I didn't buy it. Apparently, it was really buggy and had a bunch of bad stuff in it. I mean, just what I've heard, I don't know. However, that game is no longer because this game is sick! Instead of being a traditional VR experience, Ancient Dungeon is a roguelike that has randomly generated layouts. This is what makes the game so much fun, as it gives a completely different experience each time. There are only 5 areas with their own themes, but the layouts change constantly. Your main goal in this game is to get to the boss room in each dungeon, but since the layout is random, good luck! Thankfully, you're given a map with lots of helpful information about the dungeon you're currently in. In each map, you get these relics that are basically power-ups. They come with upsides, sometimes downsides, but they randomly show up and can affect the game in many ways. For instance, the Packrat Mandible relic makes it so that you get a whole bunch of stats boosted, but obtaining other relics will damage you. This really just goes to show just how important relics are for the game, and how much they can change it. The art style is very much inspired by pixel art fantasy games, and also most likely Minecraft. Because of course it is. I really like it, and I think combining aspects from different video games to create this style is super cool. It's nothing too crazy, but it makes for a better experience because it's super pixelated. I especially love the library. It really reminds me of Repo in a weird way. And aside from the art style, randomly generated dungeons, and relics, there's a lot to this game. Every time you die or successfully kill the final boss, you'll receive something called Insight, which is measured by a few different factors. Using this insight, you can level up your skill tree to get whatever extra benefits you want. They go off into different paths, each focused on one specific thing about the dungeon. One of these skills, for example, makes it so that food in the dungeon gets upgraded to the next level. This basically means that you'll find apples instead of potatoes, which restore 1 heart and half a heart respectively. The idea of having a skill tree for leveling up skills is really interesting, and it incentivized me to keep playing. Adding on, there are new weapons that have been added to the game, which, as of me recording this, can now show up in the dungeon itself on certain levels. These weapons change the dynamic of the game entirely, forcing you to use new strategies to go through the dungeon. Even the relics are changed up in some ways. And there's just so much more to this game than meets the eye. I mean, you can customize your character, collect lore, discover new areas within the dungeon, get a whole bunch of new abilities, you can play with gorilla tag movement, there's freaking multiplayer, and you can buy stuff from a shopkeeper who appears in most maps. And it's just so nice and refreshing to be able to spend your money and... So, if you're interested in roguelikes and VR games like I am, I guess, I would highly recommend this game. It's one of the best games I've played this year, and the best part? It's still in beta. There's much more to come in the future, and I can't wait to see it. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the lack of uploads recently. I've needed a bit of a creative break, but I'll be posting much more now. So look forward to that. Anyway, see you next time.